Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the brand new Nike Kyrie 7. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, Nike states that the Kyrie 7 features a 360-degree computer-generated traction that helps you in and out of cuts. And personally, the traction kind of reminds me of like tire tread almost. And yeah, I'd say for the most part, it is good. It's definitely not as good as the Kyrie 6. I think the Kyrie 6 had like really amazing traction. However, it is still good. If you all are playing on your above average to really clean courts, you really won't have any problems. You'll be able to stop on a dime and it's really, really nice. However, if you are playing on your dusty to, really dusty courts, that's when you're gonna have to wipe. I wouldn't say the dust really gets stuck in between the grooves, but what happens is, depending on I guess how dusty your court is, the dust will just get stuck onto the actual traction itself. So you will have to wipe in order to maintain some good traction. Otherwise, you may slide to a stop here and there. So just make sure you maintain those wipes and you should be good to go. But yeah, like I was saying, the traction definitely isn't as good as the Kyrie 6, but it is still good in its own way. And this is a black rubber outsole. And predominantly from Nike, the black colors don't work as well as the other solid rubber outsoles that they use. And I'm not sure why. So, hopefully, other colored outsoles will actually have even better traction than this. And I'll actually keep you all up to date because I am going to get other colorways of the shoe as well. So yeah, overall traction not as good as Kyrie 6, but still good. So moving on to the cushion, the Kyrie 7 features pretty much the exact same setup as the Kyrie 6 as well. What you're going to get is a full-length Phylon midsole with a Zoom Turbo unit in the forefoot. And in this shoe, actually, the Zoom Turbo, I can't feel it as much as the Kyrie 6 as well. I'm not exactly sure if they stiffened up the Phylon that holds that Zoom unit or something like that, or maybe just some minor changes here and there to the structure of the Kyrie 7 affects like how much you can feel that Zoom unit. It's definitely not as pronounced, but you can still feel it. So I would definitely say it's more subtle than it was in the previous iteration of the Kyrie model, but it still does feel really nice. And then in the heel you get pretty much what you expect. It's not the best impact protection, but you do get some. So the forefoot is mildly bouncy, and personally I'm still fine with that because the Zoom Turbo still feels really good to me. The only thing I wish is that you could feel it a little bit more like in the Kyrie 6. However, from a cushioning standpoint, at least for me, I still think the cushion is fine and it's more than sufficient for myself. So moving on to the materials, the Kyrie 7 features a full mesh upper, and the mesh is kind of crispy. You can hear it. It's very, stiff, but not overly stiff to where, it just doesn't feel that great on foot. It feels perfectly fine. It definitely could have been more premium. In terms of the materials, at least compared to the Kyrie 6, this is definitely a downgrade. The Kyrie 6 materials were really nice, and especially in certain colorways, you would actually get real materials like leather or something like that on the back half of the shoe. However, in the Kyrie 7, you're not getting that. You are just getting this basic mesh, and it's just mesh all around. And from a performance standpoint, it's perfectly fine. It gets the job done great. But to the touch, I really wish that they did keep some sort of, really nice premium materials like in the Kyrie 6, but it is what it is in the end. And, I'm sure they went with this for some reason. And in terms of the material usage, yeah, could have been better, but it gets the job done just fine. So moving on to the fit, the Kyrie 7 fits like every single other Kyrie model. So what I would recommend is most of you go true to size. However, I am a slightly wide footer, and I went true to size, and yeah, I could definitely go up a half size because as a slightly wide footer, if you go true to size, you will probably feel some pressure around in the pinky toe area of the shoe, which may cause some cramping later on. So I would recommend going up a half size, and that should fix all of your problems. Really wide footers, be careful. Maybe go up a whole size even. It just really depends on the shape of your foot, honestly. I'd say for wide footers, half size is a good idea. For everyone else, normal and narrow footers, go true to size. The materials do lie very nicely over your feet, and it feels really nice. It's almost like one-to-one feeling, and it does feel really nice in terms of the fit. The heel area is nicely sculpted. So overall, the fit in the Kyrie 7 is really nice. The only real caution is for those wide footers. You gotta go up a half size. Otherwise, you will have some problems in this forefoot area. So moving on to the support, Kyrie has always had great support in his shoes, and the Kyrie 7 is no different. You have an internal heel counter which helps lock in your heel along with that sculpting. Just make sure that you aren't going anywhere in the heel. As far as side-to-side movement goes on the footbed, I didn't have any of that. I didn't have any lateral instabilities as well. You do have a fairly wide base, even though this is a rounded outsole because, you know, Kyrie does like to make those really shifty movements. Didn't have any problems. You know, this has definitely got you covered on support. And you know, these lateral and medial wings on here do help secure your foot into the shoe as well. So overall, yeah, the support is really nice on the Kyrie. You also have a lot of torsional rigidity and stability because, you know, Kyrie definitely needs that. So his shoes definitely have that as well. Overall, the support in the Kyrie 7 is really good. So moving on to the price. This particular Kyrie 7 retails for $140, but I know other like general release colorways are gonna be $130. And for $130, you are getting a very solid performer. The only downside is, like I said, if you are playing on some like average dusty to really dusty courts, you will have to wipe in order to maintain good traction, just because dust does actually get stuck to the actual like traction of the shoe. So just maintain those wipes and you guys will be good to go. Honestly, that's really my only like gripe with the shoe. Other than that, you know, I do wish that the materials on the shoe were a little bit nicer, but when it comes to performance, it really does get the job done just fine. So overall, the Kyrie 7 is a great performer and at a pretty good price point as well. If you all love the Kyrie 6, I think you'll love the Kyrie 7 as well. You know, it is slightly worse in traction, but for me, that's perfectly okay because one thing that the Kyrie 6 had that I really didn't like that this doesn't have is that strap. That strap just gets in the way and it chews up your laces and it's just really annoying. And you know, personally, I didn't think it did too much. So this without the strap is really nice. Yeah, I like the Kyrie 7 a lot, and I think if you all wanted to pick up a pair, I don't think you'll be disappointed. That's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. I'm always putting out more content, so expect to see more videos just like this. Also smash that thumbs up button for me as it really does help me out. Check out this video on my left, check out this video on my right, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.